So congratulations to us. What do you think? Kelsey Grace. She is also camera shy like the rest of my kids. But one day she's gonna be a star. Welcome back to the Homestead. All right, tomorrow's the 4th of July, literally one of my favorite of all holidays. You know, as we celebrate the founding of the greatest nation ever in human existence. But the video is maybe not going to be one of celebratory gloating, because what have we done with our privilege? You know, the propitious smiles of heaven, as asked by President Washington, have set upon us. You know, we literally had the God of heaven inspire our founders, inspire them to create a constitutional government that gave rights to we the people. And then, you know, if you're like me and you just barely participated in watching the debate, you realize that America is in danger, massive danger. So I'm going to be going around and I'm going to be showing you some of my homestead, but I'm mainly going to be talking to you about the dangers that are about, because the world is on fire. It is. And you can stick your head in the sand or you can just acknowledge it. You know, we had in church last week, we were singing My Country 'Tis of Thee. Just a great song, you know, and I looked around the congregation and I'll be honest with you, there was a massive sense of sadness in my heart. Because as I'm standing there and I know that we are just literally on the verge of a constitutional crisis. For all of you who are my Democratic friends, and you are my friends, we are all the same people. We might have political differences, but as I think about what my friends on the Democratic side of the aisle are going to face, there is a massive potential that they are going to go through this next election having not voted on their candidate. Meaning, I do firmly believe that Biden is going to be asked to leave. He's probably going to, well, it doesn't matter. Something's happening. And the reason why this is sad is, you know, if you think that, oh, well, it's just because old age finally hit him. Like, come on, guys. Just a little bit of adult talk here. We've known Biden had had mental issues for 4 years, but somebody higher above, some elite, some group, some conglomerate, some secret combination, some formation of evil has decided, oh, nope, now is the time for somebody else, because they flicked a little switch before that debate. And they told the media, hey, guess what? You can now cover Biden's mental issues. You can cover that now. And so all of a sudden, after there's really any time for the Democrats to be allowed their constitutional God-given right to vote, they have now decided that they're going to talk about the truth about his mental issues. I suggest to you that that is evil. So the Democrats, in my opinion, if this plays out, they are not going to be able to vote in a primary for what candidate they want to run against President Trump in November. And that's wrong. Okay, so we're in the greenhouse. Why would we do this? Why would we do this big effort of a greenhouse? Sorry, I woke up and did not comb my hair. I just woke up. I'm on tending duty. Before I leave the greenhouse, I do want to show you this. So I just gave it a massive haircut. And check out the banana tree. It's doing great, baby. And check out the avocados over there. We'll zoom in on that. This isn't necessarily a full greenhouse tour. So when we came across the money selling a property in Nauvoo, we felt that we needed to invest that money in ourselves, so that we needed to build the greenhouse that we were wanting to build, because it was time. You know, there's a song by Pearl Jam. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, even though they are definitely on the other side of the political aisle. So it's a song about massive heartache, and it's a breakup. And so this gentleman that the song is written about just went through massive trauma. His heart is forever broken. And because of that, you know, it affects everything about him. So he says he takes a walk outside and he's surrounded by some kids at play. He can see their laughter. But for him, it's like, why? You know, like there's no purpose. And then it goes further. It says, hot and twisted thoughts that spin around my head. I'm spinning. Oh, how quickly the sun can cloud away. And that's just a little bit of the feeling that I have as I think about these men that in 1776 got together. They decided that they would literally put their lives on the line. Ben Franklin said, you know, we can either hang individually or we can hang together. I mean, the stakes were so high for them to experiment and give the world the freest, most prosperous nation in history. And they did it. You know, when there was this, there's a meme going around about, you know, there was a 2% tax that was going to be laid upon them from the motherland. And on their tea and on their the things that they're wanting to sell. And those patriots were so mad. And, you know, the Boston Tea Party resulted. I mean, they went into action. That was the generation that they were. Now, shifting into what kind of a generation are we? Like, we're a generation that is just so overly taxed. We are so overly regulated, and we just take it. And that's why I look around. I look at what we have done with the freedoms that we were given, and we've squandered it, folks. Okay, so another headline that I think is very pertinent to us because we're living in it right now. So we have this political, constitutional crisis coming up. Do you think that'll affect your ability to protect and provide for your family? If you're not using some creativity and trying to project what life is going to look like, yes, that's going to disrupt you and your life. You can put your head in the sand, or you can just think, holy cow. Well, what do I need to do to mitigate that? Okay, so there's this other headline that's going around, and it's talking about McDonald's. I think it was the University of Indiana, and they had just done like a scientific test on a McDonald's quarter pounder. And they found over 1,400 strands of DNA in one McDonald's burger. I mean, that's crazy. So over 1,000 animals participating in that one burger. Now, some people are just gonna be like, oh, it's no problem. If you're raised on a farm, you're immediately like, what in the crap? Like, that is alarming. You know, because what happens on a farm, let me just tell you, is if you have a farm and you have an animal that has a disease, or, you know, that just can't be in your herd anyway because it might infect the others, you immediately want to cull that animal, get rid of it. You know, so 1,400 animals. I mean, do we have any idea how many of those are culled? Were they healthy? Were they rotten? You know, so you have no control of food quality. Now, McDonald's might have some kind of quality control. I don't go to McDonald's for health. I'm just saying. What I am getting at is that, do you believe that potentially the time could come when the safety of your food might have to be in your own hands? You know, as we keep on seeing issues with supply chains, but also with quality control, you know, it's like all these different countries that they have the same food production that we do, like the same products, the same, you know, General Mills and Tyson or whatever. And other countries won't allow certain ingredients into their country. And so the recipes for food is literally different in other countries who give a dang. You know, but our FDA, who's so awesome, and, you know, in 2020, they were just so good at protecting the American consumer with medicine, you know, and they're also so good to protect us with our food. They're so good that other countries won't allow many things that we allow in America. So again, why do we do it? Why do we have a rabbit colony? So My message on my homestead has never been, hey, you should build my exact rabbit colony, or you should build my off-grid greenhouse. So I'm literally trying not to trip over rabbits. My message is that you need to think about what you should be doing and going about it. So we just barely had baby number 9, Kelsey Grace, and mom and baby are doing fantastic, by the way. Thank you for asking. She's beautiful. And you know, a lot of people comment to my sweet wife, oh my word, you have such healthy pregnancies and you're so this and that. And my wife is every bit amazing as all those comments. But you know what? Like, for all of you mothers out there, here's a late Mother Day shout out. You guys are awesome. If men were having babies, the world population would be a lot smaller, maybe 0. Women go through so much to bring about these babies. You have the delivery, you have, I mean, the 9 months, but then you also have the nursing. And you know, one of the reasons why we have even considered goats, like we have milk cows. In fact, I'll go show you our 2 milk cows, because again, you know, it's like with milk, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, you drink raw milk? And I'm thinking, yeah, why not? So the alternative is you get milk that they take and they, you know, raise it up to 1,000 degrees and kill everything that's good inside of it. And then they take the milk and they separate it into all these different components, and then they add it back together. Okay, I mean, I drink store-bought milk too. I'm not this purist, but do I trust it all? I don't, and I'm becoming less and less likely to trust it. You know, there's been many times I go to the store and get milk, and milk tastes different when I'm using the same brand, and I'm thinking in my mind, okay, something's off. I don't know what it is, but so we have too many Jersey milk cows. But over here with these goats, you know, when my wife got the impression to have a little goat herd, this is the lonely goat herd, you know, spoken about in The Sound of Music. You know, it was like, well, what if we have a time of need and we have people with babies, and maybe there's some kind of an issue with a mama's milk production. I mean, it's kind of cool that if we have that issue with our baby, that you can't really give babies cow milk, but you can give them goat milk. And that's not the main reason we got the goats. We got the goats because we wanted a backup to our cows. So if we had any kind of a milk shortage, then we, in between breeding of our 2 mini Jerseys, if we had to, we could ramp up milk supply very easily with these girls. And aren't they pretty? And aren't they hungry? Are you guys wanting some food? Let me show you this. Oh, maybe. And now I know why Heavenly Father gave us 2 hands. Come here, girls. So this is our buck. He's alone right now, but we have a second buck that is over with a friend. So he's not very happy that he is separated from the rest. So we're gonna get the buck over here immediately. But they are good looking goats. And again, is it worth the efforts to have goats just as a backup, an emergency backup? Yeah. The time of thinking that all is well and all is going to continue, it's over. It's time to start doing stuff on our own accord to be prepared. That's why we homestead. That's why we prep. Okay, we're in my orchard with my 2 mini Jersey milk cows. That is mom and baby, and mama will be having another baby in September. Okay, one last thing on my theory that America is in danger. My theory that America is one of the greatest nations ever, but a nation in decline. So my younger daughter, she used to be my baby. She does not like to be called the baby. So Keisha, she is 4 years old now, and she loves Peppa Pig. you know, that very innocent cartoon show. They speak in a British accent, and it's a pig, and so it's completely harmless, right? So my boy, my 12-year-old, is like, oh my word, Mom, did you hear that? And so he rewound the cartoon. Sorry, I'm trying not to step in cow bombs here in the orchard. This is kind of a good setup. We have the cows in here on occasion eating all this orchard grass, and it's just free food. Anyway, so Bryce is just like, Mom, you got to come hear this. And so I guess Peppa Pig's best friend, and they throw this in the cartoon. I do not know why. And, oh, my friend, she has two mommies. One mommy goes to work, and the other mom fixes her spaghetti, you know. And I mean, it's just so unassuming, and it's just so casual. And so our little Keisha's just like, she told Becca, like, shortly after that, because we were trying to have a quiet conversation of like, what in the heck? So we're trying to have a conversation without Keisha hearing, and she literally goes over to Becca. So Keisha's born into a family with the mom and dad, and I would say to you, from a Christian standpoint, that is the ideal. A lot of times that doesn't happen, but that's what we want. So Keisha has a very good life, and she's just like, Mom, it's really cool, isn't it, to have two moms? You know, in her little mind trying to process all this stuff. And me and Becca, I mean, shame on us, just assumed that we didn't have to worry about Peppa Pig. We were wrong. And now I just want to be clear. I have friends that have lifestyles that are outside of marriage between a man and a woman. But I firmly believe, from a Christian standpoint, as stated in the proclamation to the world called the family, that marriage is between a man and a woman. And that's what I want to teach my daughter. And so here we have media just completely infiltrated. And so right after that, so we stopped watching Peppa Pig, and I think it was Trolls or some other movie they're watching. And then there's these evil trolls that come and say, we kidnap kids. And there was just this weird kidnap theology. And I'm like, what is going on? And then just like shortly after that, my kids were watching, which I would argue is maybe the worst of all cartoons, which is Monsters, Inc. I can't really even get into why, but don't let your kids watch that cartoon at all. I mean, we're talking evil. And, you know, it's just, we have this massive infiltration of corruption. So if we are not careful, sorry, I'm trying to find a shady spot. If we are not careful, the media will raise our kids for us. And that is not why we chose to have 9 kids, just to outsource our morality to Pixar or Disney or Peppa. You know, you cannot do that. The time has come to where, as parents, we need to be more engaged, because we are a nation in decline. You know, Disney used to be, you know, one of the family-friendly things that you could trust. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. All right, there's the rant, there's the video. I am going to have a very happy 4th of July, even though there's a little bit of sadness and warning and ominous feelings. Life is still good. But you know what? If fear can help motivate you, then a little bit of that won't hurt. It's surely a lot better than ignorance, in my humble opinion. So wake up and get to work. As soon as Becca gets back, I've got a list from here to China of things that I needed to be doing on the homestead. So I'm gonna go get to it. But until then, peace out from the homestead, from Daddy and Kelsey. Happy 4th of July.